Butch, if we look at the 10 jersey for South Africa, Manie, Libbok and then Handrè Pollard, as a former 10, best place to talk about it. Obviously, Libbok missed a few kicks, but he'll put that probably past him and get on with it. But which way would you go if you were the South African coaching setup? Which way would you go for Tonga at the weekend?
Yeah, I think for the weekend against Tonga, they will probably go with Handrè at 10 and give him a run. He hasn't played much rugby, so to have him over there, even if he is over there as a reserve, you need to be giving him some game time and letting him have a run around. So I'm sure they'll go with him on the weekend. I feel really sorry for Manie. Obviously, he has got the responsibility of the goal kicking, but besides the goal kicking, I think he's been outstanding in a Springbok jersey. I think since Rassie took over and then under Jacques Nienaber, I think our attack with ball in hands probably been the best it's ever been under those two coaches. So, and I would put that down to the way Manie's been playing. So I really do feel sorry for the guy because he's added so much value to the Springbok squad. His line kicking for me is exceptional, especially from a penalty and kicking it into the 5-yard line, which gives those forwards that chance to only maul it 5 meters to score the try. So for me, I really feel for the guy. I hope he can sort his kicking out and maybe fix or find something that he's just been missing so that he doesn't miss too many, because unfortunately when it does come down to a final, it might just be that one or those two kicks that don't go over that will cost you. So it's a tough call for the coaches. I think, like I said, they will play Handrè this weekend and see how he goes. Even if he doesn't start, I'm sure they'll try to get him as close to 40 minutes as they can, and then then they've got a bit of a headache. But I think obviously in South African public, everyone's talking about the kicking and the missed kicks, so they all want Handrè to start, and because they're feeling that if he's on the field, he's not going to miss a kick. But he's also human. He's also been out of the game for a while, so we haven't seen how he's kicking at the moment. So it will be interesting to see how that debate goes and which one the coaches go for.
And I suppose his biggest strength, Butch, is he's been there and done that, Handrè. But as you say, he hasn't played a lot of games recently.
Yeah, definitely. He's got the experience. I mean, he won a under-20 championship with South Africa when he was still at school. And I felt that from then on, even that experience when he was only 18 years old, really did give him that experience that every number 10 probably needs. And we saw that at the 2019 World Cup. He was very cool, calm, and slotted his penalties when he needed to. So he definitely does have a cool head on his shoulders, so that will be invaluable. And I think defensively, nothing against Manie's defense. I think he's pretty solid on defense, but defensively, Handrè's maybe a little bit more solid. I think when you got the likes of a Bondi Aki, we saw him make a brilliant break from just outside his 22. When you got big guys like that running at you, maybe you would rather have Handrè there. I'm not too sure. I think Manie probably uses his speed to close the space out and make a softer tackle than letting the guy get a bit of momentum and running at you. So, yeah, a lot for the selectors and the coaches to consider. But, I think it's a nice headache to have.
A former 10 talking about physicality levels.
Yeah, Butch, did you ever find yourself in that position where you missed kicks in a big game? And if so, maybe you didn't. If so, how would you deal with it now if you're Manie Libbok? Lots of people talking about him. He's kind of centre of attention. I see a lot of people saying, give him a break. You know, Sia Khaleesi came out, last week or a couple of weeks ago, backing him up as well, that it's a team game.
Yeah.
How would you deal with it?
Yeah, it's really hard to turn it around when you're on the field. I think from a personal point of view, when I was kicking and even in a warm-up, I didn't like to be kicking out in the field. I like to take it almost onto the try line and just aim at the pole, because if you do start missing one or two in front of the poles, and then that's playing on the back of your mind when you do run out to the field to take to the game, so it's definitely a confidence thing, the kicking. And I suppose it's the same for a hooker. I was really impressed, actually. I know the Irish lost a lot of lineouts, but they lost a lot of those lineouts early on in the game, and the way they came back and started winning their lineouts, I was very impressed with that. It's quite often that can downward spiral, and you could end up not winning a lineout, you know. So I thought that the way they came back and made sure that they did win their lineout ball was pretty impressive, because after that first 20 minutes, them losing 3 or 4, I thought, oh no, that's it. We've got every single, like, just make sure you kick the ball out and we will win the ball back, you know. But they did. They came back nicely there, and you got to give them a lot of credit for that as well, because I do feel like a hooker and the goal kicker is pretty similar. When you lose that confidence, it's pretty hard to get it back.
But your last one on the kicking, when you were playing, you had Frans Steen and Percy Montgomery as well to share, I suppose, the load of the kicks. Did you feel that more as a pressure thing, or was it actually quite good if you missed one, someone else would take one or not?
Yeah, I must say, I think as a fly-off, I always liked the responsibility that a fly-off had, and I suppose goal kicking was a part of that. But to take the restarts, or the line kicks, or the 22 dropouts, you know, for me, I enjoyed doing that because I felt it was my job. And if someone took that away from me, I felt that I wasn't sort of everything that I could for the team. But I must admit, when you've got a kicker, and in 2007 he didn't miss too many, it was great to know that Monty was kicking for goal. But if you asked anyone how they thought Manie played, everyone's going to say that he was poor, and that was because he had missed those kicks, you know. So it's a lot of pressure. If you don't get the goal kicks and get the conversions over, then you're going to end up having a poor game. So for myself, I enjoyed it in 2007 when Percy was kicking for a goal, because I knew that he was kicking better than me and was better for the team. But I was still taking the restarts, kicking for the line and so on. And so I still had my place in the team. I wasn't just there to pass the ball sort of thing. So it definitely took a bit of pressure off, but I knew it was for the better of the team.